Hello, and welcome to Chapter 6. Chapter 6 Types of Letters. So, the four most common types of business letters: inquiry letters, special request letters, sales letters, and customer relations letters. Inquiry letters. They ask for more information about a product, service, or procedure. An effective inquiry letter states exactly what information the writer wants, indicates clearly why the writer must have the information, keeps questions short and to the point, specifies when the writer must have the information, and thanks the reader. So, an example of an inquiry letter. Now this is in modified block format, modified format. Dear Miss Canty, my husband and I are looking for a single-family home in the Leland, North Carolina area. We have been pre-approved for a $200,075 mortgage. Our ideal first home would be a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home on one level with at least 2 living areas and a fenced-in backyard for our 2 small dogs. We would like to close by December 14th. We have heard wonderful things about Canty Realty, and we look forward to working with you while we take this very important step in our lives. My husband and I are available to look at homes every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. We may be reached at home, or you may contact me on my cell phone anytime after 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. Again, we look forward to meeting you and working with you. Sincerely, Anitra Lewis, Anitra Lewis. So, this is an example of an inquiry. Everything that the real estate agent would need to know is available. How much you want to spend or how much you've been pre-approved for, the specifications of the home, if you have any pets, when you are available, your contact information, when you plan on moving. All of that stuff is very important, and all of it is included in the letter so that the real estate agent doesn't have to ask, oh, well, I wonder how much they got approved for, or I wonder when they're ready to move. You don't want to leave anything open to interpretation. Special request letters. Special request letters make a special demand, not a routine inquiry. When writing a special request letter, remember to make sure you address the letter to the right person. State who you are and why you are writing. Indicate clearly your reason for requesting the information. Make your questions easy to answer. Specify exactly when you need the information. Offer to forward a copy of your report, paper, or survey for which you need the information. If you want to reprint or publish the materials you ask for, indicate that you will secure whatever permissions are necessary, and thank the reader for helping. One thing that you probably notice, one pattern that you probably notice, is that it is, of course, wonderful to thank the reader for helping you, because they are doing you a service. Now, special request letters can be a number of different things. There are some great examples in your textbook. One particular is a request for a reference letter. Now, here's what you want to remember for reference letters, and I'll post up some examples of these. You want to give the reader all the information that he or she needs to know in a reference letter. Oftentimes I get students that send me requests for reference letters and they just say, could you write a reference letter for me? Thanks. They don't tell me when they need it. They barely tell me who they are. They don't tell me what the reference letter will be for. They don't tell me any of that, and all of that is very important. How could I write a reference letter if I don't know when you need it, if I don't know much about you, and if I don't know exactly what the reference is for? Sales letters. Sales letters are written to persuade readers to buy a product, try a service, support some cause, or participate in some activity. To write an effective sales letter that stands out and does its job, you have to do the following. Identify and limit your audience. Use reader psychology. Don't be a bore or a boast. Use words that appeal to the reader's senses, and be ethical. Now, with sales letters, remember, they're persuasive letters. So you need to persuade your reader as best you can to try your product, your service, to visit your restaurant, to buy something from you. Whatever it is, that you are trying to persuade them to do. Again, your book has a wonderful example of that. There's a sales letter with a Jamaican restaurant, Island Jocks, and he uses his senses. He uses words that appeal to the reader's senses. He's ethical. He tells the truth. And he limits his audience. He tells them menu prices. He tells them they can have a meeting for 4 people or 50 people, or a meeting for 250 people. He gives readers everything that he knows that they would need to know. Now, reader psychology is just writing to a reader how you would like to be written to. So if you know that certain things would be effective for you, then include that in your letter, because your reader is a real person and they probably have the same likes and dislikes in terms of professional communication and persuasion that you have. The 4 A's of sales letters. An effective sales letter follows the 4 A's of sales letters. It gets the reader's attention by asking a question, using a how-to statement, complimenting the reader, offering a gift, introducing a comparison, or announcing a change. It highlights the product's or service's appeal by making it appear attractive, necessary, or profitable. It shows the customer the product's application by supplying the right evidence and mentioning costs. It ends with a specific request for action by telling readers exactly what you want them to do. And again, I'm going to make a separate video that shows you examples of all these, because I know that even though there are examples in the book, seeing them and hearing my voice along with it probably helps guide you. Customer relations letters. Maintain working relationships with customers. Types of customer relations letters include follow-up letters, adjustment letters, complaint letters, refusal of credit letters, and collection letters. So customer relation letters can be good or bad, and both of them require different writing tactics, and we're going to discuss the specifics of those writing tactics. For a good news message, use a direct approach. Start the letter with the good news. Have you ever been accepted to something or received an award for something? They just tell you right off, congratulations, it is our pleasure to ... We are proud to present you with ... We are pleased to inform you that ... That's the best way to start good letters, because, if it's good news, you don't have to sort of soften the blow. You can just start the reader in with the great news. For a bad news message, it's a little different. You have to do it a little more indirectly. Do not open the letter with the bad news in order to keep the tension level down. Now, we know oftentimes if we open a letter, if it's going to be good news or bad news by the way the first paragraph is. But still, it does still comfort the reader to some extent, having that first sentence that softens the blow before you give them the bad news. Follow-up letters are sent by companies after a sale to thank the customer for buying a product or using a service, and to encourage the customer to buy more products and services. An effective follow-up letter begins with a brief and sincere expression of gratitude, discusses the benefits already known by the customer, and ends with a specific request for future business. Remember that call to action? There it is again. Complaint letters are exactly what they sound like and may be sent by a customer to a business or from one business to another. Avoid angry complaint letters, which rarely get positive results. An effective complaint letter should maintain a professional tone and follow these guidelines. Begin with a detailed description of the product or service. Details are very important in letters generally, but also customer relations letters. State exactly what is wrong with the product or service. Briefly describe the inconvenience you have experienced. Indicate precisely what you want done. Ask for prompt handling of your claim. Adjustment letters respond to complaint letters and should restore customer confidence, whether the answer to what the customer wants done about the problem is yes or no. An adjustment letter saying yes should admit immediately that the customer's complaint is justified and apologize. State precisely what you are going to do to correct the problem. Tell customers exactly what happened, and end on a friendly and positive note. An adjustment letter saying no is more difficult because it involves giving bad news while at the same time convincing the reader that your position is fair, logical, and consistent. A diplomatic adjustment letter saying no should thank the customer for writing, state the problem so that customers realize that you understand their complaint, explain what happened with the product or service before you give the customer a decision, give your decision without hedging, turn your no into a benefit for the reader, and leave the door open for better and continued business. Even when you give bad news, when you have to give bad news, bad customer relations letters, adjustment letters saying no, refusal of credit letters, you still want to maintain a professional tone and a tone of goodwill. Refusal of credit letters require a great deal of sensitivity. You want to be clear and firm about the decision, but you do not want to alienate the reader and risk losing his or her future business. Follow these guidelines when writing a refusal of credit letter. Begin on a positive note, not a negative note, just like the customer relations letter, the bad news customer relations letter. In the second paragraph, provide a clear-cut explanation of why you must refuse the request for credit and end on a positive note. Collection letters. Letters sent out to individuals for non-payment of bills. These letters require the same tact and fairness as complaint and adjustment letters. Each case should be handled individually. A nasty letter sent to a customer with a good payment history will be ineffective, as will three easygoing letters to a customer with a poor payment history. Sending letter quality messages. Final advice. Regardless of the type of business letter you write, the following guidelines will help you draft, tailor, and evaluate the letter to ensure its quality. Identify your reader. Determine your purpose for writing. This is what we've talked about, right? At chapter 1. This is essentially the same goals that you want to follow with everything that you write professionally. Determine the reader's reason for writing. Organize information. Include essential information. Use the right style and tone. Test your overall goal. That is chapter 6. That's part 1 of chapter 6. Now, there isn't a second PowerPoint that I'm going to post, but like I said, next week I'm going to post examples of these types of letters so you can see firsthand exactly what you'll be asked to do for the assignments. Okay, remember, as always, if you have any questions, any concerns, please, please, please do not hesitate to let me know. Have a wonderful weekend. Oh, wait, you might not be seeing this on Friday. I'm recording it on Friday. So have a wonderful day. That's better. Have a wonderful day. And I will see you next time.